Hi everyone, this is gonna be the part 2 of the sweater hoodie. Okay, next we're gonna sew two front panels and then the back panel together first at the shoulder seam here. It's pretty big, so I can't show you the whole thing, so I'm just gonna show you in the paper. So this is the back panel, okay, and then this is the front panel and this is the other front panel. You're gonna put them like this with the right side facing each other, and we're gonna sew on the wrong side. Okay, this is right here. This is the back panel, right side facing up. This is the front panel, right side facing down. So right side facing each other, same at this side. Okay, and before we sew, I just wanna apologize one thing that when we make the two front panels, I tell you guys to leave a long tail for sewing the shoulder seam for both panels. Actually, you just need to leave one front panel the long tail, because the other one we cannot use them right here because we not sew all the way to here. Okay, we're just gonna sew from this marker to this marker. We're gonna leave this part open for we to create the hoodie. Okay, and I hope it makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna sew from here to here 20 stitches and leave this part open, right? So we good with this side with the long tail. But for this side, we cannot use this tail because we're not gonna sew this part, right? We're just gonna sew this part to this part. And I'm just gonna cut the yarn in this side. But I still can use this tail to sew this part. So I'm just gonna cut the yarn. That's it. It's no big deal. Okay, and I'm gonna use this tail to sew this side to here. Actually, if we leave from the back panel, we will good too. But like I say, no big deal, we just add a new yarn. Alright, I just gonna show you guys this side first. So this side we have a long tail already, and I bring my yarn needle. You can use any method you like. I just gonna use my yarn needle and sewing. And I just gonna sew normal. So before we sew, I want you to count the stitches from the back panel and the front panel till you have 20 stitches, and then mark into the 20th stitch. I can show you guys first. I'm just gonna remove marker and remove marker. Okay, so this is the first stitch of the back panel. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and place the marker into the 20th stitch. Alright, and then come back to count the front panel. This is the first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And use the same marker that we marked the back panel. Mark the 20th stitch of the front panel as well. Alright, see, that's what it looks like. We're gonna sew 20 stitches from the back panel and the front panel together. Same at this side. And I already have my yarn here and my needle. So the yarn is already on the front panel, the first stitch here. And I'm just gonna insert my needle into the first stitch of the back panel. And I'm gonna sew this way. like this, and bring it out, and then insert into next stitch of the front panel, and then next stitch of the back panel, like so, and then next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel, like so. This is how I sew mine. Like I said, you can use any method you like. So next stitch of the front panel and next stitch of the back panel. Okay, keep repeating this. Next stitch of the front panel and then next stitch of the back panel. I just gonna keep repeat sewing back and forth till I reach the marker, and I will meet you guys back in. Okay, now I sew to the last stitch here, but I haven't sewed the last stitch yet, which is the marker stitch here. I just gonna insert my needle into the marker stitch of the front panel and then marker stitch of the back panel, like so. And then take the marker out and sew the last stitch. Okay. Make sure you don't sew your stitches too tight or too loose. That's what it looks like, and that's what it looks like on the right side. And now I just gonna weave the end. I gonna tie a couple knots. Tie one more knot. And then hide my tail. And make sure it's secure, and then trim the tail. See, that's what it looks like so far. That's what it looks like. And then we're gonna sew this side exactly the same, but you're gonna add a new yarn. I'm gonna show you guys how to add the new yarn. Okay, this is the yarn that I just cut from this corner. I'm just gonna use that tail. Insert to my needle, and then start sewing from the marker here, front panel and then back panel, like so. And then just remove marker. Leave a little bit of tail, just weaving the end later, just for weaving the end later. And then insert my needle into next stitch, the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. And then next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. See, we sew the same. Again, you can use any method you like. Next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. Oops. Yeah, just keep sewing this, and then when you reach the end, you're just gonna hide the tail, weave the end, and also this end as well. Okay, and when you're done with sewing the shoulder part, and we will start sew the sleeve into the sweater. Okay, after you sew the other shoulder, that's what it looks like. See, this is the front panel, and then this is the front panel, this is the back panel. Okay, and now we're gonna start sew the sleeve. That's why I lay it this way. And I show you here. I already marked the sleeve into the front and the back panel already, and I will show you how I mark. So it's difficult to see the whole thing. I'm just gonna show you in the paper here. So this is the back panel, which is this one, this paper, and this is the front panel, which is right here, this one. Okay, and then this is the other front panel, which is this one. The wrong side facing up, or the panels. And now this is the sleeve, this right here, where I mark into the front and the back panel here. And now you wanna put the half of your sleeve in the middle, right on the shoulder seam. Okay, we want this side and this side to be even, right? So for the sleeve, I have 48 stitches. So I split it in half. So I have 24 stitches this side, from this marker to this marker, 24 stitches. And then I have from this marker to this marker, 24 stitches. So all of that is 48 stitches. And then I'm just gonna put this away. And then for the front panel, I mark from this marker to this marker 14 rows of double crochet stitches. Okay, double crochet rows, 14 rows. And then for the back panel, from this marker to this marker, also 14 rows. Okay, whatever you do, make sure the front panel and the back panel is even. Also the sleeve, you want to even. Okay, I hope it makes sense. All right, and all the panels is is wrong side facing up, because we're gonna sew on the wrong side. And then use the long tail that you left earlier for sewing. I bring my yarn needle, insert my yarn in there, and then I will start sewing from this marker first. Again, you can use any method you like. I'm just gonna remove marker, but remember the row that you remove marker. Okay, we're gonna insert the needle in there. It's right here. Insert into this stitch that we just remove marker. Oops. Okay. Okay, and then insert into next stitch of the sleeve, and then insert into this stitch of the front panel. You can see the normal stitch. You kind of like imagine it and make sure that all even. Make sure you don't sew too tight or too loose. And then next stitch of the sleeve, and next stitch of the front panel here. Next stitch of the sleeve, and next stitch of the front panel. Next stitch of the sleeve, next stitch of the front panel. Yeah, that's what I sew mine. Just sew back and forth, very easy. This is what the right side look like. You don't see much yet. Okay, you're just gonna keep sewing this, and again, you cannot see the real stitch, right? You cannot guess where the stitch you're gonna insert your needle into. But make sure that all even. That's all that matter. Alright, I'm gonna keep sewing this, and when I reach the orange marker stitch, make sure that I'm gonna go into the same marker stitch for the front panel as well. That's all it matters. Just make sure that all even, and you're gonna keep sewing back and forth. Go slowly, take your time until you reach this marker stitch, and I will meet you guys back in. Now I reach the marker stitch here, but I haven't sewed the last stitch yet, so I wanna sew with you guys. So I'm just gonna insert my needle into the last stitch of my sleeve, and then insert the needle into the marker stitch right there, and then remove marker, and then just gonna hide the tail, whip the end, and then I'm just gonna tie a couple knots. And make sure it's secure, and then you're gonna trim the tail. And you're done with this side, the sleeve, and then you're gonna sew the other sleeve exactly the same. Use the same technique, whatever you use for this sleeve. Make sure it's even, okay? And make sure you sew on the wrong side. And then I will meet you guys back in when you have the other sleeve done. Okay, after you have both sleeves sewn, and next you're gonna fold your sweater hoodie in half with right side facing each other. Okay, that's what it looks like right now. I'm gonna show you in the paper first. So this two front panel, and we sew the shoulder, right? And then right side facing each other. That's what it looks like. And then the sleeve, we already sew the sleeve, this part, and then this part, right? And then next we're gonna sew the side of the hoodie sweater from the bottom here, and sew all the way up till we reach the armpit, and then continue sewing the sleeve all the way down till we reach the end here, which is the cuff of your sleeve. All right, we're gonna sew on the wrong side, and make sure you fold right side facing each other. I already fold my sweater in half here, so right side facing each other. This is the sleeve, and then this is the sleeve. And then you need to cut new strands of yarn. I cut about 50 inches long, just enough to sew the side of your sweater and then the sleeve. And then I'm gonna start from the bottom here. So this is the bottom of the front panel, and then this is the back panel. And then I'm gonna start sew from here. I'm just gonna turn this side. Much better on this side for me. Okay, I'm just gonna insert my needle into the front panel corner here, and then go into the corner of the back panel here. And then I'm just gonna tie those tails together. and then I'm gonna weave the end later, deal with that later. And then insert into next stitch here, and then next stitch there. And you can use any method you like. And again, this is, you can see the normal stitch, right? You just see the end of each row. You kind of guess where you're gonna insert your needle into, but make sure that the back panel and front panel are straight like this, like the end of row 1 and the end of row 1 of the back panel are matching, line up like this, and then the end of row 2 of the front panel and the end of row 2 of the back panel are sewed together like this. That's all that matter. Okay, and then I insert into next stitch here, and then next stitch there. Make sure you don't sew too tight or too loose. And then next stitch here, and next stitch there. And then next stitch here, and next stitch there. And then next stitch here, and then next stitch there. Okay, this is how I sew mine. I'm just gonna keep sewing. I'm gonna take my time, go slowly, and I'm gonna keep sewing till I reach the armpit here. And then when you reach the armpit, make sure this corner and this corner, the armpit of the front and the back are line up. Okay, and then after that, you're gonna continue sew the sleeve here. Sew all the way down here. Okay, and I will meet you guys back in again when you reach the end here, which is the cuff here. Okay, just normal sew back and forth, but like I said, take your time. Make sure everything line up and nice and straight. All right, I will meet you guys back in when you reach the end, the cuff of your sleeve. Okay, good luck. Now I reach the end here, which is the cuff of your sleeve, and then that's what it looks like. And then I'm just gonna tie this tail together. Tie a couple knots, and then weave the end. Alright, make sure it's secure, and then trim the tail. And then you're gonna weave this end as well. Yeah, we're done with this side. Okay, so see, we start sew from here, the bottom here, all the way up till we reach the armpit here, right here. And then we sew the sleeve all the way down till we reach the cuff here. That's what it looks like. And then you're gonna sew the other side exactly the same. After you sew the other side, we're gonna start crochet the hood and the collar, and I will show you guys in the part 3.